I'm just getting my cup of tea ready. So you're going to hear me clattering around in the kitchen for 5 seconds. And the good news is, I'm not actually coughing as much as I was last week, but I still have the weird cough and the voice. And nobody has caught it off me. I don't think I caught it off anybody. I have officially a mystery illness. So, hello. Let me see if I can find us all again, because I have no idea. Right. I was hoping that, being a millennial, I would be better at tech. That's not the case. No, I can't find us again. Maybe if I click that one. Yay, I found us! Okay, good. This is already better than last week. Okie dokie. Right, I'm going to try to not cough at all. How has everybody's week been? What are you looking forward to this week? We're going into another heat wave set of temperatures this week, so I'm not looking forward to it. We desperately need some rain. I had a softball match. When was it? Wednesday, and already. And the position I play when we're fielding is the catcher. And I accidentally obstructed the home plate, so I kind of got rugby tackled to the floor. And the floor is like concrete. There is no bounce in it at all because of this extreme hot weather. But I didn't have any bruising. And as soon as I hit the deck, I thought, ooh, that's going to hurt in the morning. But it didn't. There's no bruising. I was fine. So maybe magic softball pitch, potentially. Oh, I need a spoon. Hold on. Grabbing a spoon. Where are the spoons? Just use that one. Hey, Emmy dog. Right, today I'm not necessarily doing planning of my Friday topics, but I am planning next term's term topic, which is one of the 6 windows. So 3 of them are very casual, very like dipping in and out of topics. So we've got nature, well-being and music, and I feel like they're quite dippy topics because, especially with things like nature, is that you find the most interesting stuff when you're actually out in it. So then you come back and I add something to the window. So the first nature thing we did was me and Ben, we were picking stuff out of the garden, and he found some clivers in the garden, and I have it as a herbal tea, so I already knew all of the benefits, but he didn't. So he was finding out what it's good for, why can we drink it, why is it just growing there in the ground, who planted it. And people over here in the UK might know it as sticky willy or goosegrass. So that was our first one that we did. And then we did, we were watching Spring Watch, and Chris Packham came up with a whole bunch of cool words that I thought, pause it, I'm writing those words down because he'll want to know, he'll ask. So I think things like nature, yes, you can study it, but I think it's better to be out there, wandering around your own garden, or going on a nature walk, or even watching Spring Watch, because you're going to come across words you've never heard before. And the same with well-being and mental health. You kind of, what have you got? No, we're not doing that in here. Take it outside. I can't believe you let me touch that. That was gross. Yeah, so mental health and well-being, because it's kind of like an ongoing conversation, it's not necessarily a study topic, but we do talk about some crackers of feelings and how we got there that I think I'm going to have to put that on the window, because sometimes kids come out with the most beautiful process of how they got from point A to point B with no coaching. And I just think that sentence right there, I'm putting that on the window, because I couldn't have asked for a better form of how you got there. And then music, you have to do music, don't you? You can't just read about it, because it's technically another language. So you kind of have to do it, which is why it's so exhausting. And actually, my dad is a drummer, a self-taught drummer, and he's just started teaching drums to a little guy on his street. And he's even said to his new student, I'm only going to do half an hour, because your brain will just be mush. It is another language, and it's hard. And drums, particularly, all four limbs are doing something at once. So yeah, you have to do that. You can't just read about it. You kind of have to do that one. Tea will save us all. I ran out of tea bags days ago, and I'm so lazy that I only went to the shop for more, like yesterday. How lazy is that? How lazy is that, Emmy dog? I only got tea bags yesterday. Oh, so today I need to make, excuse me, I do need to make 2 different kinds of volcanoes, and Ben is struggling to comprehend tectonic plates. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. And I was thinking of doing some kind of moving jigsaw. And I think I know how I want to do it, but I'm not sure it's going to work, but we'll try. And the reason why I'm doing 2 types of volcanoes is because he took a shine to a black smoker volcano, which is an underwater volcano. And I had this really cool idea of how I could make a volcano, laminate it, and then I went on this crazy thought process of maybe there's a straw that goes up the back of the volcano so that he could blow, but I don't know, even as I say it out loud, it's not going to work. And I wonder if hydrothermal vents and black smokers are almost the same thing. And then I need to do a tree, because we went on a nature walk, and where one of our favourite walks has loads of trees. And I didn't know that trees talk to each other through their roots. That would be the police helicopter, which is really useful. And they talk to each other through their roots, the same as mushrooms. And there's a science word for it, so I need to Google that. So I need to do 2 volcanoes, possibly some kind of moving tectonic plate thing, and a tree and a mushroom with like very child-friendly explanations with this science word in it, but not overwhelming. Let's get on it. So how has everybody's week been? Over here in the UK, we're going into more heat wave temperatures. I'm not looking forward to it. Just going to say hi to everybody really quick. Hi Josiah, hi Lydia. How are you both? How's your week been? I'm just going to quickly Google. My friend is really passionate about trees and she was telling me all about it. And you know when people get super passionate and then they kind of lose you in all the vocabulary, so I'm going to have to Google it anyway. How do trees talk to each other? Fungi threads. Oh my word. The wood wide web. That's clever. Right, so tiny hair-like fungi called mycorrhizae. Oh God. Wow. When did we find all of this out about trees? This is crazy. Excuse me. Okay. The wood wide web. Right, I'm gonna try. How do I? Who knew? Okay, everyone keeps calling it the wood wide web. I think everybody's agreeing that that science word is too difficult to say. But we're going to try and say it anyway. Copy that. Because sometimes you get the phonetic spelling of it. Nope, not even Google's going to try saying it out loud. Mycorrhizae. I am absolutely murdering that word. Is a symbiotic association between a fungus and a plant in which fungal hyphae and plant roots become interconnected and form an interface on a cellular level. Wow. I was told as well that trees can move themselves. I don't know if that's true. This term refers to the role of the fungus in the plant's rhizosphere, the plant root system and its surroundings. That's mad. Okay. Not entirely sure how I'm going to begin to break that one down. But we shall try. All we can do is try. I'm going to start with the easy piece and just sort a tree out. Right, so oh yeah, and because my oldest isn't here, again I get to use all the things that make noise because he doesn't like it, bless him. I think I spoke about that when I did our fly because I had to use a felt tip. He doesn't like it. Is it really your birthday, Josiah, or are you just saying that? because I don't understand why you'd be watching a Home Ed thing if it's your actual birthday. It's actually your birthday. Okay, happy birthday then. How old are you? Are you starting your birthday or are you ending your birthday? Hi, Liam. Did you have a good stream? Oh, okay. You're 10. Okay, I'm going to politely ask you to come off my stream because this isn't for kids because I will be swearing. So possibly bedtime for you. Josiah, do your mum and dad know? I did also know as well that trees can kill off other species of trees if a tree is the mother tree and they have saplings nearby that a different species of tree is stealing nutrients from, the mother tree can kill the enemy tree. Nature's savage. This field ain't big enough for all of us. And with the moving tree thing, there was a video of it, but because of AI now, you never really know if what you're seeing is the truth or not. And once again, the ruler has gone walkies. Last year, I clean this room out every December. Last year, I bought 7 protractors, and I found 5 of them. 2 of them are forever missing, and the rulers constantly go walkies. I've bought 3 massive 30cm rulers, and they just go walkies all the time. Hi, Ben. So I'm off to find a ruler. And every time I say to the boys, do either of you know where a protractor is? They look at me like it's the first time they've ever heard the word protractor. And they know what one is. I'm not even sure if you're all getting some kind of ASMR from this. It'd be really cool if I could do some kind of like black smoker volcano thing for the 9-year-old. But then, is a hydrothermal vent the same? No, it can't be the same because then there wouldn't be 2 different names for it. I know the hydrothermal vent is, it lets up sulfur and something else from the ocean bed. So it's not a volcano because it's not an earthquake event. It's just sulfur that comes up, and then a certain type of crab that's been called the Hasselhoff crab. It has a different name. It has hairs on its arms, and then it waves its arms around gathers the sulfur in the hairs on its arms, and then something comes to feed on that. I think it's like a sea snail or something comes to feed on the sulfur, and that starts off the food chain right down at the bottom of the ocean, because I think any layer of the ocean that sunlight hits, it's plant life because it can photosynthesize through the water. But obviously places like the Mariana Trench, it's pitch black and it's the stuff of nightmares down there. Because I never use a protractor. No, I used one the other day when we were doing angles that are outside of the polygon. We're kind of doing lesson prep. So you're late if I have to go over this again. Detention, I'm joking. I need to do 2 kinds of volcanoes for Ben. One, a black smoker that's under the ocean, and then one normal one. And then I need to do a tree, because on our nature walk we were talking about the trees and how their root system is how they talk to each other, and it's the same system that mushrooms work on as well. And then I do need to plan, I think, so our last term will probably be history for a term topic, because we've got bonfire night, remembrance. Yeah, it'll be history. I do need to plan some history actually. Right, what was that crazy word? Mycorrhiza. There has to be a better way to say that. And that's not the same word my friend said, who is really passionate about trees. Right, we're going to write that word down. Okay. It is already getting really humid. I don't want it. Okay. This strange word is the symbiotic. I'll need to underline that because he won't know what that means either. That's fine. Symbiotic. Did we even know this about trees, like when we were kids? Or is this fairly new? Fungi. This is how they talk to each other. Okay, there's a tree. need a mushroom, because he's going to say, what's fungi? And I can say, mushrooms. We went for a nature walk a little while ago, and we found like the classic red mushroom with the white dots on it. Looked like a Mario mushroom. And straight away I was like, don't touch it! But it looked like a Mario mushroom. Even the dog sniffed it. I've never seen a mushroom like that in the wild. And there is one mushroom called, I think it's called an Inca, and it drips ink. Ugh. I'm not ready for how scary nature is. And I have a plan as well. I've told my boys that what we're going to do on our nature walks is we're going to befriend a badger, not the American honey badgers, the European badgers that look like they want to invite you for afternoon tea. We're going to befriend a badger, even though they're vicious, domesticate it, call it badger, and then have a pet badger. And they're only like this big. They're fine. Sure, they've got tuberculosis. They'll be fine. I would honestly, that would be such a bucket list thing for me to see a badger in the wild. All right, see you later. Liam is putting the kids to bed. If I could ever befriend a badger, oh, that would be incredible. A family member lives in quite a rural area, and she said that she was putting the bins out one night and a badger just walked up her driveway. I thought, imagine living somewhere that the badger just walks up your driveway. We've got neighbours here that feed the foxes, which is still pretty cool. I know some people don't like the foxes, but they are part of the ecosystem too. But a badger, and they're really loud. But she did say, just stay out of the way of them because they're quite bad-tempered. Although, in America, you guys have a raccoon problem in parts of America, and I just think raccoons look so cool. But they're probably not. They are probably things to stay well away from. I wonder what's the most random wildlife story you all have. We have adders, so the snake adder, we have those in the New Forest. I haven't seen one. I would love to see one. I don't think I know anyone that's seen one. And they don't really come out to people or dogs, understandably. I've seen 2 slow worms. One was in my veggie patch that got a little bit run over by the lawnmower because Liam saw it last minute. And then one was actually on one of my dog walks. It was just right in front of us. The dog even stepped over it. It was just going across the pathway, which is really unusual because slow worms are usually quite reclusive. But that was cool. And I took a picture of it because nobody ever believes you when you say you've seen a slow worm, because they say, no, it was just a really long garden worm. No, this was a slow worm. So I took a picture of it and everything. The dog wasn't even bothered. Okay, tree and a mushroom, done. Off to a great start. Already finished 2 of the things. I did also do a little bit of planning on my Isle of Wight trip, but it's kind of a non-starter because to get the car on the ferry one way is 40 quid. 40 quid one way. I don't know if that's always been an expensive thing. I don't know. But then I found another lighthouse that is, where is it? Hurst Point. So that looks good. Although Google Maps keeps routing me via the Isle of Wight, which I think is odd. The internet is strange. Okay, right, volcanoes. So, one thing that Ben gets stuck on a lot is the difference between magma and lava. And magma is inside the volcano, lava is when it comes outside. So he struggles with that. So I actually printed something off. Oh, I had a brainwave the other day. I might not need to do volcanoes because I already printed something off. Ah, a gift to myself. Lovely. But I don't know how to do the tectonic plates. I did think about, do I sort of feed some string through the back of the pieces and then they can jiggle when you pull the string so you can see the plates move, and that's how volcanoes, but I don't know. It's a whole thing getting it from what I think is going to work to actually getting it to work. And it's heartbreaking every time that I realise the real world is nowhere near as magical as my brain is. And this really easy idea is actually a small feat of engineering, and I can't do it. But we can try. Okay, so a black smoker. How am I doing that? Let's have a look. Somebody somewhere would have made black smoker. Black smoker hydrothermal vents. They are the same, are they? Oh. They are the same. Ah, maybe we could just do, if I find my old resource from when Jim Jam did hydrothermal vents, I can just put that back on the window. Oh, another gift to myself on a very humid Sunday evening. Amazing. Okay, in that case then, I can go straight to history. Which will be great. Ugh, it's so humid, everything is sticking to me. Da, 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 da. Okay, the best place that I usually find what, if the boys were in school, what their year group would be doing is the BBC Bite Size. And they've got some really good ideas on there. Ooh. Oh, actually, at the minute he's doing Stone Age and Celts. So we could even get up to Stonehenge, because they've got the roundhouses. And they've got the new museum now. And we went there a few years ago. And they probably don't remember it now. Hello, Yestin, how are you? Shield Maiden. It's not happening. Not happening. But now they've got the roundhouses. And I have a photo of Ben, and he must have been about 4. So maybe we go to Stonehenge. When can we do that? Because it's going to be cold. Stonehenge is great. And because we're not going to be doing, oh wait, hold on. When is equinox? Because there might be an event on. Solstice is December, so equinox is October. Yeah. Maybe we could do it as our last one. We might do it as our last one before we break up for Christmas. That'd be good. How has your week been, Yestin? I was going to make 2 different kinds of volcanoes, but I clearly was on the ball the other day and already printed off a whole volcano thing for Ben, so I don't need to do that. And then I made a tree for the boys because there's some crazy science word that I can't even say, but it's how trees and mushrooms talk to each other. That's pretty cool. Right then, so, do we carry on? Or do we? His history book is still at his dad's house, so I can't see how far through he's got it. No, actually we are going to do it. Let's check out Stonehenge. Stonehenge. I think there's a bus that goes really close to it now. There never used to be. Seems like so far away to be planning a field trip for November, but it's really not that far away. Oh wait, hold on. We've got 2 weeks off coming up. Okay. So I won't do it for November then. write that down somewhere. Maybe here. Okay, awesome. Make coronation chicken again from scratch. I love coronation chicken. Isn't the secret ingredient mango chutney? Well, it's probably not a secret. But isn't it mango chutney that gives it that? Miss the strip to show off the pictures. You can still put the pictures in there. I don't really cook or bake anymore, but could inspire me. Definitely put the pictures in there. I bloody love coronation chicken. It's been ages. Although the last time I had it, it was a Morrison's sandwich, so it wasn't great, but it was still good. I can't make it, so I'm always grateful if there's a sandwich that is there on the shelf and it's coronation chicken. I'm always grateful. Do I get the laminator out and do it now? Do it now! I probably should. Geography of tectonic plates. I honestly don't know how to. Tectonic plates. Poster. See, already it's really, it's a lot. Unless I just photocopy the page, because then I can cut the page up. At that point, am I just cutting up a page and it's still not really going to help him? It's such a mad thing to comprehend, isn't it, that what you're standing on is constantly moving. And not only is that constantly moving, the world is constantly turning. And that causes things like gravity, and then the plates constantly moving cause things like earthquakes in some countries daily. Some of them are so small you don't notice them, and some of them are so big they cause things like tsunamis and volcanoes. I kind of love his brain because, like, watching him question it and challenge it, and then when you're there, like, yeah, it's true because of this, or and like how he questions it. I love it. Actually, do I already have? I probably do. And it's an absolutely massive book. And it'll be too wordy and you won't like it. But let's have a look anyway. Right. The Science Encyclopedia. Instantly I'm going to regret this because this will be too wordy for him. But let's have a look. See if there's something I can photocopy that then maybe I can turn into some kind of jigsaw. It'd be really helpful if there was, you know how like you get the map of the world? It'd be helpful if there was a map of the plates, because then I could cut that up. Maybe Maybe that can help, because if a map of the plates also has all the countries on it, then he could see things like the Ring of Fire that's under the water, that's next to Japan, I think, because I think that's a plate boundary, and that's why that's got like the most volcanoes under the water. And is that where the Mariana Trench is? Is it near there? Oh, this book is already giving me an inferiority complex. Don't fear the books, Luce. They're just books. No, it's not in here. Why wouldn't it be in here? I would have thought it would have been science because of the sulfide. And oh no, it's probably just. Do I have? No, I've got a book of space and a book of marine creatures, but not a book of geography. Well, I do have geography, but it's British geography. And a student atlas, that won't have plates on it. Damn it! That was a really good idea I had as well. The universe. No, just need to focus on Earth. And then also trying to say to him about we were all one big supercontinent before we all broke off into our individual continents. It's massive, isn't it, when you break it down like that? Poor little guy. No wonder he's going, no, that's not true. That's not true. Because trying to get him to believe in gravity for a while, that was fun. I wonder if actually I subscribe to Twinkle. They're mostly good. Sometimes it's a bit hit and miss, but I wonder if they will have a map of the plates. And I just want the plates. I don't want the Earth's crust and the magma chamber. I don't want that yet because we're not there yet. Oh my God, they have it. Jigsaw puzzle activity. That's exactly it, with the continents on. Oh my God. Amazing. Okay, that looks okay. Yeah, you can see that Japan is on a plate boundary, which is why the Ring of Fire is right there. Which actually led us on to quite nicely how Japan has earthquake-proof buildings. They're probably not earthquake-proof, but they have buildings that move with the earthquakes. And we're very interested in if there's an earthquake in Japan, do you still have to evacuate the building? And if you're allowed to stay in the building, can you feel the building move? But you probably still have to evacuate because it's safer, right? Mango chutney and cinnamon with turmeric, I learned. Ooh, turmeric. Oops. That's I find turmeric to be really earthy. Cinnamon, yeah, I can see that going in. Or does the cinnamon cancel out the earthiness of the turmeric? Ben is getting my cold. Well, he already stole my blue eyes, so it makes sense that he steals my cold. That's fine. It's hopefully he gets away with it. It's just a voice and a cough. I didn't get any of the like achy or anything. Okay, let's go for. Oh, do I need paper in the printer? It's all done. Oh my God, I'm on fire, guys. I'm actually on fire. I printed off volcano stuff. There's paper in the printer. Will the printer work? The printer works. Oh my God, that's it. Okay, so we've got tectonic plates jigsaw, which is amazing because we can see where Japan is. There's a lot of plates. We're definitely going to lose a piece of this jigsaw. I might have to print another one off so I have spare plates for the world. This is so cool. That's amazing. So San Francisco has earthquakes every day, but a lot of them are really mild, so they don't even register. So, oh, San Francisco must be around here then. Because there's 2 plate boundaries there. Do I cut this up? Because some of these plates are really small. I think I'm going to have to find an envelope. And then I can put the envelope on the window, and he can stick it on the window as best he can with the volcano. The tree and the mushroom are going on the nature wall. History, and we're going to do Stonehenge because I've got the round houses. The last time we went, I think they had revamped their museum as well, and they had found a skull from a dig somewhere, and they'd used AI or whatever it is they'd used to reconstruct the face of this caveman skull, and the face actually could pass for like a 21st century man. It didn't look all that different. I thought it would. I thought you'd see like the protruding forehead or jawbones quite different because the diet was different, or just genetics was still unevolved. I don't know. But no, this guy looked like he could fit in a crowd and he wouldn't look out of place, which I was really shocked at. I remember James went through a phase of being mildly obsessed with Stone Age stuff. And then when he found out that the Middle Ages was around 1,000 years long, and because when you say it was 1,000 years long, people go, oh bloody hell, nothing really happened then, which I guess is true. And then as soon as something happens, then it's a brand new time, because an advancement has improved the lives of the human race and pushed it forward. It has advanced it forward. So you might have 999 years of nothing, and then 1 year of, ta-da, I made bread, and now the diet's different, and then boom, you're in the bread age. Japan is a Western world. It's actually called Nippon, same for Croatia. What? I did not know that. There's a really cool science program out there that demonstrates how the buildings move kind of like that. Probably not as extreme as that. You'd definitely notice that, and you probably wouldn't feel safe. But they have engineered their buildings to move with the earthquakes, which is, if it stops buildings falling down and people getting hurt, then that's great. But I don't know if I could work in a building that moves. Oh, we're definitely losing some of these pieces. I'm calling it. I think we're going to lose the Caribbean plate. It looks very small and losable. I might have to print this off again. I can't remember how many volcanoes are in the Ring of Fire either. It's hundreds, I think. I bet the marine life is really rich down there because they've got all of that food chain. Because of we're definitely, look at that plate. We are losing that one. Definitely that's going to go up the Hoover for sure. I tell you what, I'm printing another one off because we don't even have anything to... Did I download it? Let's print this again. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I can't believe how on the ball I've been this week. Might need to lie down in a minute. Ah, I've run out of paper. Damn it. Right. Bloody cough. Unreal. Oh, I can't use that one. This one. I had quite the love-hate relationship with my printer in the early days. I totally see why office workers are incredibly bad-tempered because they're arguing with a printer all day. But I feel like we understand each other now. If the printer just does as it's told, it gets to live. Look at this, Caribbean plate, begging, absolutely begging to be lost. And we, the UK, we're nowhere near a plate, which is very interesting in our history of earthquakes, because we're not near a plate boundary at all. And I think we did have an earthquake in our history somewhere, unless I dreamt that up. I still have this cough. It's like an old friend now. how do they find the plates? Like how do they know where they all are? That must be a really cool job, actually. Imagine that's your job. What do? I travel the world as part of my job to go and find the plate boundaries. That's my job. I get to see all the cool volcanoes, have a few scary earthquakes, but mostly I get to go to some really beautiful parts of the world for work. Would that job be called a tectonologist? Or a boundaryologist? That'd be a really cool job. Tectonicologist. If that's actually the job and I've just completely guessed that, I'm going to be so impressed with myself. I've got my driving lesson tomorrow. I'm doing all right, actually. I've got my test booked for November. Did you know you have to book your driver's test around 6 months in advance? Because there's something going on where people are buying driver's tests and then, what's it called? Like when you, called scalping tickets? Like, you know, when you buy concert tickets, but you don't intend to go, you just intend to sell them on. That's what's happening with driving lessons and driving tests. So you have to book them only through your instructor now and really far in advance. And you're now not allowed to change where you can take your test. You get told you can only change it X amount of times, and you get told where you can test. You're not allowed to choose anymore. Didn't even know this was a thing. And then the people that are reselling the driver's tests, they're selling them for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And people are buying it, which is crazy. What is the world coming to? The Arabian plate, also begging to be lost. Teeny tiny plate. I love doing my planning this late. Because even though the boys are at their dad's tonight, it's just nice and calm. Nobody needs me. The dog doesn't need me. She's asleep over there. It's just me. Scotia plate, also begging to be lost. We're going to have some huge gaps in our plate jigsaw. Right, let me go and find an envelope. I think I know where I put the envelopes. And this is where I figure out that I tidied up and I've put them somewhere super safe, and now I don't know where they are anymore. No. Why would I put something somewhere that makes total sense for it to be there? Why would I do that? That's far too sensible. No, they're gone forever. No envelopes for me. Well, now we're definitely losing pieces of our world. Okay. See, already, I've nearly already lost 2 plates. Got to stay together with the group. Stay together. Sorry, chat, I've been ignoring you while I've been cutting out the world. Do I turn the laminator on now? Do I get it done now? Because then it's done. Probably should. I probably should. The Alps. What's the Alps? Isn't that France? I want to say France. Probably isn't. Yeah, I'm going to laminate now. I may as well. Oh, I found the envelopes. Yay. Okay. That was my plan all along. Now I've lost the laminator. This is the mind of me. I put things in really sensible spaces and then I can't ever find them ever again until something like I move house and then I find all my missing things. Yet to find my sanity. Where has that gone? I don't even know where I would have put that. All right, tectonic plates. So hopefully that will help him. There's always one, isn't there? The Antarctic plate won't ever be a team player. Can't fit in an envelope. So maybe this is the decoy. It's not actually going to be the 2 tiny plates we lose. It's going to be the Antarctic plate because it can't fit in the envelope, so it can't stay with the group. Selfish. Okay. Can I not go in? Right. I genuinely don't know where I would have put the laminator. Is it in here? No. I'm really happy though that hydrothermal vents and black smokers are kind of the same, because that means I can just reuse a resource. And even James might remember the food chain bit we did. Do you need to go out? Hey? Should we go for a walk in a minute? Go and find the foxes? Yeah? No. Right, well, I need to find my laminator. You're molting, finally. But thank you so much for joining me on my Sunday night planning. I think I might have to get into the swing of just printing stuff off as it comes around to me, because otherwise I end up with this really long list of stuff I need to do and then I can't remember half the stuff. but my geography window and my nature window are going to look really good. We're going to do Stonehenge because Ben's doing Stonehenge to the Celts and the pennies dropping, so I don't really want to rush him into another topic when it's just going in. So anyway, have a great week ahead. Let me know what you get up to next Sunday when I log on around the same time. And have a great week. See you later.